Jim Sinegal, who's a financial analyst in the equities division of Morningstar, is here, and we're talking about the banking sector. And what I'd like to find out is, for example, what's the message that we're hearing from banks now that we're in the earnings season?
I think the message we're hearing is that things are definitely getting better. We got a rate hike from the Federal Reserve in December. That's definitely starting to help earnings. Credit quality is very good. Consumers are starting to borrow again. Corporations are starting to borrow, and the market's up, which helped out a lot of banks.
So thinking in the past, too big to fail, have we gotten past that?
You know, I don't think we're quite past too big to fail. There's been a lot of talk about repealing some regulations, but I think we're going to see help for the small banks first, the big banks later. No one is in a rush to help out the JP Morgans and Goldman Sachses of the world.
Well, thinking about the strongest banks, for example, who's reported in so far?
JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America have reported. JP Morgan's results have been the strongest. That bank is really close to firing on all cylinders. The flip side is the stock is reflecting that, so it's looking a little pricey right now.
So we're pretty much topped out there.
We're getting close for JP. Some of the other banks, Wells Fargo, for instance, has had some problems over the last few months. The flip side of that, the stock is looking a lot better to us. The dividend yield is up, the price is down. We think they'll get through their problems, and we like that stock.
Yeah, beaten down because of their problems, but that's an opportunity.
Exactly.
Speaking about opportunities and perhaps some kind of issues, Brexit. Who has the biggest exposure there?
You know, the big investment banks are going to be exposed to Brexit. The JP Morgans of the world, Citigroup, they're doing a lot of business in Europe. Traditionally, that's been done in London. They're going to have to move a lot of operations. Again, an advantage, though, is that the European banks, especially the British banks, are probably in much bigger trouble. So it could actually help them out down the road.
Yeah, certainly the international is a big question right now. But thinking about some of the names that you've mentioned, Citigroup and also Goldman Sachs, where are we at with their earnings? They're going to be coming out.
Yeah, you know, Citigroup is still improving. That's one of the reasons we like the stock. They've been cutting expenses. They've been exiting a lot of the markets they were in around the world. At one point, over 140 countries. That really was too big to manage. We like the fact that they're getting smaller, and that's what we're looking at today.
Sort of streamlining.
Exactly.
Jim, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me back.